see you, hater. My motivator. Y'all make me greater. Yeah.
I got my boy Brian from Life with Ikes. He dropping his dash off for the box Chevy, the Ocean View. He also finna go to a car show, so he came up here before he went to Atlanta. But I'm gonna show you this Challenger here. Tell him what's up.
What's
Life
up,
with
guys?
Ikes.
What's cracking? We done brought Sprayway to dash up here. We're gonna let Sprayway, he gonna be part of the box Chevy build too.
No doubt.
The box Chevy done came a long way though, from where she first started from. But still got a long way to go. Trying to get this interior process going now. Then after that, this the color right here. This one right here.
Okay.
That's the color we're gonna be going with right there. So we're gonna try
to match it up.
Yeah, try to match it up the best we can. Cause at first I was gonna just wrap the dash, and I was like, I don't know if I want to wrap the dash because you know when you go into them car shows, it's gonna get hot outside, then it's gonna melt that glue, and that dash then it's gonna start to bubble up.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I was like, I'd rather just paint it.
Yeah. I used to like, a glossy dash, but now I'm going towards the original look.
The original look, yeah. Make it look fine.
Yeah.
But
that's what I'm gonna do.
You can see though, my dash, it ain't really that bad. It ain't really that bad.
Yeah.
You got a few little cracks in it, but for the most part, it ain't too bad.
For what, 30-year-old car?
Exactly. I done seen way worse than that. I done seen busted all up, all across it and everything.
But I'm gonna take care of.
Oh yeah.
Just take a little sanding.
Yeah, let me grab the paint. That's the paint right there.
They had custom mix it was already.
Well, I think he said we looked at a little chip that he had.
Yeah.
It was on, yeah, you can go ahead and take a picture of it, bro. It was the closest thing. That was the closest thing he had to it. Yeah. So I was like, well, shit, maybe put a couple coats on it. It'll match up as best we can.
Yeah.
But that was the closest thing we had.
And you want like a flat clear?
Yeah, like a flat cut. Yeah. Okay. It ain't even got a shot.
No, I ain't do that. But he want me to paint it though eventually.
Back up windshield.
YouTube Life with Ikes. We got Brian from Life with Ikes box Chevy dash here. Brought it on the inside. Taking a look at it. Like I said, it ain't really in bad shape. There's a few cracks here and there. So we're gonna have to cut these and knock them down flush with the rest of the surface. Also up in here, we're gonna knock it down with my finger. That's all it'll take. Just knock them high edges down. And I'm gonna knock this part here down. I'll probably just cut it because it ain't knocking down smooth. So I cut that with a box knife. Just cut that lip off. And that should be pretty much it. But he wanted me to do his dash like I did State of Stezo's. I had fiberglass the grids in. This one going this side here. And I had put a texture on it. A flat color. I put the bed liner, then I sprayed the color, then I sprayed a flat clear over it. This the color he trying to go with here. He's getting his interior done now, so I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it on this board. You probably can see it better here. But it's a texture, leather fabric, and the color that we got mixed up was this Old Bone by Kim. Slick base, and it looks like it's pretty much the same. Probably gonna have to put maybe 3 coats on it, but I think it's gonna work out for him. So let me take care of knocking all this down and trimming it up, then we'll get started. got that taken care of. I also took some 80 grit and went across that foam there, trying to even it up some. And I just dug out this section here because it was sticking up. Only thing you want to do is you just want to make sure everything is below and even with the surface. You don't want nothing sticking up because it'll show through. Then you'll have to sand it down in the long run. But we're finna move on to the fleece now. We're gonna wrap it with fleece. I got some Loctite spray and I got some fleece from Walmart. A lot of folks be asking me, where do I get it from? You can get it at your local fabric store or your local Walmart. And it's just $4.42 a yard, and it's called Fleece Solid. I already done cut me a piece. You want to cut it a little bit bigger than what you're going to be working with. Then I'm just going, I don't know, it should be long enough. I'm going to have to stretch the ends down. I'm just going to put it halfway. Then I just spray my Loctite on this side and get this side down here taken care of. Then I move to the other side. Just want to shake the can up. I'm not going to try to do all of it at one time because I'm going to have to stretch this fleece sort of reach down to this end. So I'll probably spray from here. Then I'll do the fleece also. I'm going to spray both surfaces. I just want to get it in place right now. Then I'm just going to throw it over. I'm going to let it tack up. Then I'll pull it. I'll stretch it in place. I'll do the rest of it now. This is just to hold it so it won't move on me. Now you can see how much more I have to stretch it to get it down. But it ain't gonna be no problem as long as I do it now. So I'll go ahead and spray the rest of it. Then as I'm putting it down, I'll be stretching it at the same time. But up in here, you want to kind of leave, let me show you. You want to kind of push it in like that because you want to be able to make that contour there and overlap from the bottom. Alright, you can see I got this top part done. Now, I take my razor blade and I cut me a slit right down the middle of this here on both vents. Then I overlap it from the back side. Let me take care of that. That's that. Let me turn it over and show you how I done it. I just cut me some relief cuts on each end, like one here and one there, one here and one there, and just folded it over. Now I do the same thing around the edges. I just trim it up, probably leave a little, just leave enough just to overlap around the edges. And on this part here, I probably just overlap all of it. Then I go back at the end and cut it out once I fiberglass it. Let me cut it out, then I cut it back on. You can see I trimmed out the excess that I didn't need of the fleece. I made some relief cuts here so I can fold this over. Pretty easy. Also down here. Now I just spray me some more Scotch-Brite. I let it sit up for maybe 20 seconds. Then I stretch it in place. Did all my overlaps. Now what I do, I staple this here, because when I put the resin on, this here tend to lift up because the resin and the glue are interact. So I put staples here to keep that lip. Also I just put some around here because I'm gonna cut this speaker opening out. So I put some staples here just around the opening and also along this line here. Anywhere I feel like it might lift up on me, that's where I staple. Everything else will be fine. Now I'll be using this stapler here. It's an air stapler. Right now I'm just tracing out this speaker opening. So once I put the fiberglass and the resin on, I can know exactly where to cut. Then I go back and staple around the edges just to hold it in place until the resin dry. See, I done finished up this here. Some of the staples ain't sitting right, but once the resin dry, I pour those up. They're sticking up. Alright, got all the points that I felt like they was going to come up once I put the resin on, staple down. Some of it just shot through the padding, but like I said, I just take these staples out once the resin start hardening up to hold it in place. And this is the resin I be using, the Bondi fiberglass resin. Got a little bit more still in here. Got a fresh can now. You're going to need you some gloves because this stuff get on your hand, it's hard to come off. And a mask because it's real strong. That's why I try to do it outside. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it outside. And it also, the sun will help it dry a lot faster. And you're going to need a chip brush. Got these from Harbor Freight. Looks like I'm going to need a little bit, another box because like I got a few more in here. And an old paint stirrer and a paint cup. I just use my old paint cups and stirrers. It ain't gonna hurt or nothing. So I open this resin here. I gotta find me some hardener. Let me get some hardener right quick. You really don't want to mix up too much at one time because it's harden up on you. Then you'll be done waste the resin for no apparent reason. So I try to mix up a little at a time. Around about like this here. If I need to mix some more, I just mix some more. Then I just freestyle with the hardener. I've been doing it so long, I round about know how many drops to put in. When I first started, I always put more than what I need because it's best to put more than less, because if you don't put enough, it's not going to harden up. Then you'll be in bad shape. Let me go ahead and mix this up and take it outside and start brushing it on. brush the top with resin. Once it's dry, I flip it over and kind of do the overlap, because you don't want to do it all at once, because you don't want to go to the end, it'll start lifting up on you. And also right there where them staples had shot through the padding, I put some tape like this here, wrapped it around the stir stick, because that resin, it don't stick to the tape. Put a few sockets on just to hold it in place until it dry. I got to do it right here also, because if you don't, this part here lift up and it'll be uneven with the rest of it. So I'm just going to put this right here and put these little sockets on it just to hold it down. Brought the pad back on the inside, it done dried up. Also put a blanket down to keep that resin from dripping everywhere. But I think I'm going to take it back on the outside once I start doing the resin. But now it's time to cut me some fiberglass. You could either use fiberglass mat or fiberglass cloth. And I'm thinking about using fiberglass cloth today. I got some here. It's just a bundle fiberglass cloth. And what I do, I cut me a piece to size. It's not going to actually be long enough, so I'm going to have to piece together a piece. But I'm going to cut it to size of this flat area. Then I do the sides and the bottom separately. I got the fiberglass cloth cut to size. I'm not going to worry about the speaker openings yet, because I'm going to cut them out with the drummer once I fiberglass it. I had to piece together this side. Guess I'll go ahead and take it outside and put the resin on, start fiberglass. This the resin I'm going to use. I don't know if I done showed you or not, but it's the Bondi fiberglass resin. Yeah, I showed you when I had put the fleece on. My bad. But let me take it outside and get started. You just want to brush the resin on like you did before on the fleece. Which I'm not going to do inside of there, because I'll be cutting it out. You want to work kind of fast, because if you don't, this resin will harden up real quick out here in the sun. And once you brush it on, I'm going to do about half of it, then I'll go back and do the other half. Just lay the fiberglass cloth over it. Once you lay the cloth, I already laid the cloth. You just want to get you some more resin and put it on top of it and soak it in. Get all the air pockets out. You can brush it on and then start dabbing it. I done did that side there, just about. Alright, it's pretty hard now. The fiberglass done dried. Now I got to do the back side. I'm going to turn it over. But before I start fiberglassing the back side, I'm going to take me some 80 grit, or maybe some 180, and knock down these jagged edges so I'll be able to fiberglass a lot better with these edges sticking up. And make it harder to lay it flat. So I just sand all this down smooth, then I fiberglass this back side I actually grabbed some 60, but it'll work. I'm just trying to knock it down, so ain't gonna be no problem. Now you can see I done trimmed that excess fiberglass off. Now I cut me some strips out. I done cut these two pieces out. I'm gonna fiberglass that. I'm just gonna do every way I didn't do when I did the front side. It's gonna be right here. So let me mix up some resin, and I'll go ahead and fiberglass that. And when it dry, it cuts back on, we'll move on to the next step. Fiberglass done dried on the back side. Now I flip it over. Might as well go ahead and cut these speaker openings out. You still can see the magic marker. So I can put the vents in. I'm gonna fiberglass them in. Like this side, this side. And I'm just gonna use this little Harbor Freight rotary tool. And I'll put one of these on. I think I got one already set up. I'll put this one here on now. Or maybe the small one. Got the small one somewhere in here. I think this is here. I'll put one of them on and just cut this out. I'll also flip it over. And I'm going to cut this part here out. Right along where I stapled at. I started cutting this here with the Harbor Freight rotary tool. The tool was all good, but this mandrel, it had bent on me. So I went with a thicker one on my die grinder. So this should take care of the situation. This side here cut out. I also went and cut these end pieces here off, like on this one here. I cut them off so it'll fit down up in there. That's the wrong way. But I'm gonna raise it up once I get ready to set it in place. But I just want to make sure it fit. Once I do this side here, then we'll move on to the next step. I got both speaker openers cut out, but before I set the speaker grills, I'm gonna start sanding, trying to level everything out first before I set them. So I had went on and started cutting this back part out, this here. I done did this end, you can see. Just gotta finish up right here. Once I finish this up, I'll try to sand it down some, then I set the speaker grills in place. Alright, got that taken care of. Trimmed it on up. Now I take it outside. Try to keep the dust down in here. and start sanding, leveling everything on out a little bit before I set the speaker grills. Sand everything down. It's not level, but it's somewhat taking form. I just want to knock the jagged edges, rough ends down. Now I can go ahead and start setting my speaker grill. But I'm gonna take a piece of 60 grit. I'm just gonna sand around the speaker grill so the filler has some to bond to. Also, I bevel the edges off around here. Just to give that filler something to grip to. I blowed everything off. Now I can set the speaker grills. I was going to use my hot glue gun to set everything in place, but I think I'm just going to use some fiberglass filler to hold it in place until I fiberglass around it. And how I'm going to do it, I sand it all 4 corners on the back side. I'm just going to put some fiberglass filler on each corner. And I just set it in place to the height that I want it. I don't want to actually put it flush with the top of the pad. I want it sitting up a little bit higher than it, because I'm going to have to level it off with some more filler, so I want it sitting up just a little bit higher. Speaker grill set in place. I just got to go back and put fiberglass filler around the outer edge. But you can see how I got it lifted up. The reason why I got it lifted up like that, because by the time I get through leveling everything off, it'll be built up to around about the same height as the speaker grills. So let me go ahead and fill everything in, then we'll move on. Apply the fiberglass filler around the speaker grills. I also mixed up a little bit more, hit these areas that I seen that was somewhat low. And on this back side, I took some with my finger, just ran along this part that I cut out just to build it off. Put a little bit here also. Now I take this outside and hit it with the DA with 180 grit to somewhat level it off some more. Got it sanded down. I said 180, but I actually sanded with 80 grit. Now I take my blow hose and blow everything off. I had taped the speaker grills off after I had blowed it off, because I'm going to mix up some Rondo and I'm going to brush some on. And Rondo is just a brushable filler. I have it down in the description of how to make it, and it should be popping up as well. I'm just going to mix some up in this cup and brush it on with this chip brush. Here's my Rondo. I'm just gonna take my chip brush and just start brushing it on. It's gonna self-level itself. You'll get a much smoother surface once it harden up and trying to spread it on. I try to catch my drips while I can, while it's still kind of wet. It ain't gonna hurt nothing if you don't. It just make it a lot easier. You don't have to sand them down once it dry. We'll let this dry. Then we'll start sanding this with some 80 just to knock it down. Then we'll start blocking it. The Rondo done dried up. I had let it sit overnight. Now I take it outside and hit it with the DA. Just knock everything down so it'll be a lot easier to block sand. I'm gonna use 180 on the DA. I had blowed it off before I came back on the inside because you want to make sure you blow it off so this filler stick. I'm finna spread some filler, lightweight filler on my low airs. Also, when you blow it off, it'll blow all that dust out these little pinholes so you can get some primer or filler, whatever up in them. But these areas here, they the low areas. The spots that I didn't hit with the DA. I done all this with the DA. Except up in here, I used my hand. But I haven't blocked it yet. I just knocked it down just to find my low areas. Then I fill these with filler. Then I go back and block that. All this low. All my low areas white with the lightweight body filler. I did this with my finger up in here. Everything dry so I can start sanding. I'm just going to be using the DA again. 180 grit. Just to knock it down. Everything pretty much sanded down flat except one area. This area here is too low to block out, so I'm gonna have to put some glazing putty in that. I'm gonna use this 2-part polyester glazing putty by Evercoat. I'll go ahead and wipe some right there, right quick. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna spray some guide coat on it. We're just gonna use some flat black spray paint. It's good for guide coat, just so we can find all our low areas once we start blocking. And you want to lightly mist it on. Looks like I'm running out. I'm gonna have to go to the store, get me another can. I think I'm gonna make it with this one here. I'm ready to start blocking now. The guide coat done dried. What I'll be using, some 180 on the small block. And I'm just going to be going in the X pattern back and forth. Removing the guide coat. It's going to show me all my low areas. Let me get started. Alright, let's inspect it. Right now we can see our low areas. This here is the low area. The blocking hasn't reached down to the low spot, so that's why they still got guide coat on it. Also here, it's low, but I can block this a little bit more. That should come out. But this here I'm gonna have to put some lightweight filler or some glazing putty on this area. Also in this area here, I might can block this down some more and remove that. But that's low. These areas here low, but this can be removed with a little bit more blocking. But this is somewhat too low to block out, so I have to figure that. Blocked everything down with the small block, 180 grit. I got a few little spots I got to fill with the glazing putty. This spot here, probably here, and right here. The rest of it I could block out once I prime it. But those spots there, kind of too low to block out. And I'll just be using this Evercoat again. Which I'm not painting this dash a glossy finish. It's going to be a texture finish, but I'm still trying to get it smooth as I can. Because it's still a show somewhat not being a glossy finish. We'll let this dry on up, then we'll block this with 180 as well. Wrapping up this blocking here. Got it blocked down. Now I just blow it off again. Get ready to move on. Alright, we got that taken care of. Sand it down and blow it off. Now, when we move on, we gotta drill these holes out for the mounting screws in the vent. These 4 holes here. I would just be using the drill bit and my drill to do that. And once I drill them out, I'm going to take this maroon Scotch-Brite and just scuff up the vent area. Alright. Now we need to wipe it down with wax and grease remover. I'll be using this prep all. And once we wipe it down, we'll get it set up and we'll spray some adhesion promoter on the plastic grill. both of them. Finished up wiping everything down with the wax and grease remover. I'm ready to shoot my adhesion promoter now on my plastic pieces. I'll be using this PPG DPX 801. It's a universal plastic adhesion promoter. Wipe a skim coat of 2-part right here, and the rest I just fill with this. Get all my spots glazed up. A lot of them spots I probably could have got out with the first block. I just filled them anyway. Plus it's getting a texture. You might be wondering why I'm filling them since it's getting a texture. I'm just so used to getting it smooth for paint. Now I put my guide coat on it. It's actually primer. I had ran out of flat black spray paint because I've been doing a lot of guide coating. I had this laying around, so I've been using it. It's just a different tone. It's a darker primer than this. And then it show all my low areas also. I done brought it outside. I'm about to start sanding. Guide coat done dried. I got a smaller block and a bigger block. I'll use this smaller block probably on this area here below this lip. It's the same 180 grit. I'll just be going in the X pattern back and forth. You can see that's a high area. But I already removed the guide coat right there. It's low. Still see the guide coat. Now you can see it a lot better. See this area here? I done removed all the primer. So this is a high area. This is a low pinhole, low area. All this low here, guide coat still there. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to get everything looking like this gray primer here. But when you start seeing below the primer, that's a high area. You'll start seeing the filler. But I still can bring this down some and cut into the filler. I somewhat got it flat now. I still got a few low spots, like right here, here, and here. These high areas that I done cut into the filler, it's not no big deal because you can cut into the filler. I'm just gonna bring it down a little bit more. Dash set back up for the final prime. I'll probably just go with 2 coats of prime on it this time. When I had went out there to test fit it, I realized I had forgot to drill these holes out for the sides. So I had went on and done that. It's the dash here. After 2 coats, came out smooth. I could skip this next step as far as wet sanding, but since I done took it this far, I might as well go on and keep on going. Even though I'm putting a texture on it, the texture should be fine. Putting it right over this here. But I'm gonna go ahead and wet sand it. I'm gonna put a guide coat on this and wet sand it once that guide coat dry. This is where I began wet sanding. Got some 400. I already got some on my block here. I got some soapy water. It's the same as the previous process, just removing the guide coat. Going back and forth. With this guide coat and wet sanding, you're really doing 2 things at once. You're getting the area flat. Also, the guide coat is showing you all your low spots. And once you get to the wet sanding process, all the guide coat, it should come up pretty much at the same time because the surface should be flat from the other times you sand it. But you'll still have some low spots, like here. But it ain't gonna take much to get that up because it's already flat. I'm wrapping everything up now. I'm just going back rounding all my edges off by hand. Alright, I wiped it down with wax and grease remover. I'm ready to shoot my texture on it now. These spots here was high. That's why I cut through the primer. But I'm not going to worry about respraying it with no primer or nothing. Let me show you what texture I'm going to use. It's this Rust-Oleum truck bed coating. This is actually clear. I usually use black, but they was out of black. I just grabbed some clear. It all worked the same. Let me put my mask on and start spraying it. This is the results of the bed liner here. You can't really tell because it's clear. But once I put that color on it, should change it on up. I used up the whole can. Also, I'm gonna give you a tip when you're spraying this bed liner here. When it starts running out, you need to go ahead and quit because it'll start coming out in a stream. Let me take you over here. I'm mixing up this color now. It's by Uricam. You can't tell because I don't waste paint on the label. But it's the Slick Base Old Bone. Just 3 coats of the base coat. Now I gotta mix up this flat clear. It goes on wet, but once it dry, it turns flat.
What's cracking, YouTube? Back in this thing with another video, man. Today, I'm gonna be showing y'all the dashboard. I done picked it up, got it from Sprayway. Sprayway done took care of it. Man, this thing look awesome in person. No cap. Sprayway did his thing on this one, man. He brought it all the way back, make it look brand new. He actually painted it, fiberglassed it, put a texture on it, and painted it the same color of the vinyl that was gonna be wrapping on the bottom part of the on the doors. So let me get this camera turned around and let me just show y'all what it looking like. All right, guys, here we go. Y'all check it out how Sprayway did this thing, man. Sprayway got this dashboard all the way right. Don't worry about the little rain that's on this, little water that's on this rain. But when I say came out amazing, and he got these pieces in here, man, it looked like it was made like this. No lie.
That look kind of little. It smell like paint.
It smell like paint?
Yeah.
Cause you don't paint it, babe.
Who's gonna paint it?
It's been painted.
So you gonna paint it again?
No, we're not gonna paint it again. That's the color of the dashboard. This the dashboard that's going in the Chevy. We about to take it back over here and put it. We're finna take it over here to the shop, and we might even sit it in the car, y'all, just to see what she gonna look like.
Who?
I mean, y'all might just sit it in the car and see what it's gonna look like.
Who?
But
me? You gonna see what I gonna look like?
No, ain't nobody talking about you, man. Get in the car. But yeah, guys, I'm about to put this thing in the car, man, and we're about to head over here and take the dash over here to see what it look like in the Chevy. Dash off in here. Tell me what you think. What it's gonna smack off of that blue? Talk to me, guys. I think Sprayway did his thing on this. Sprayway did his thing on this. I bumped that a while ago. Y'all look at that. There you go, your good view right here. It's gonna smack off of that blue, guy. She gonna smack. And then you know we got these deep boards on here. She gonna smack real good. Only thing we gonna do. We're waiting on the carpet to come in. We're gonna get a Tierra grill, but I'm gonna wait till I get my interior done first. I wanna knock all that out. Y'all check it out, guys. Check out Sprayway work. Sprayway did good on that. This just dirt from the window too. This ain't on that dash, just from the window. I'm gonna clean that window out. I just got it sitting in there. I'm gonna let them pull it out and clean the window and all that stuff before they bolt everything down. But see what y'all think, guys. Y'all get in the comment section, tell me what y'all think about the dash and the color that I chose. Our eyes gonna flow. It's just a little update. We ain't got no material or nothing like that in yet. So I'm glad I got the dash though. She look good too, boy. Yeah, I don't see that smack. She need to get washed. This dash gonna look fine for him. No cap. Appreciate you, Sprayway. You did your thing on that one, player. You did your thing on that one, my guy.
Nobody really gave a damn about us. We never stopped. Right from the bottom to the top, from the ground up. We never stopped. Right from the